From the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, I'm Greg Bishop with the Center Square, joined now by Wisconsin Congressman Tiffany. Tom, thanks for taking time with us, and we're in your home state.
Hey Greg, welcome to Wisconsin. I trust you've been treated with great hospitality.
Well, the security is interesting,
Yeah.
but obviously, given the circumstances, it's clearly needed, especially after what happened Saturday. React to that. Tell us what you know, what needs to be known, what kinds of investigations need to happen, and how this changes things moving into November.
I think the big question now is what are we going to do to make sure that there's accountability? But clearly, this was a disaster of epic proportions in terms of our intelligence agencies and those protective services like the Secret Service. We need to have answers, and then after we get done with all, so first of all, we need to get all the information and then have the hearings and stuff like that, but then we clearly need reforms.
So those reforms, are they more security? Is it more accountability? How do we ensure that not just former President Trump is safe to November and beyond, but anybody else who needs Secret Service protection?
Well, I'll just share a quick story with you. I was traveling with an FBI agent back to my district from Washington, D.C. About a month ago, and he commented about the rot that is in the FBI as well as the other intelligence services in Washington, D.C. The leadership is not doing their job in Washington, D.C. They clearly have a different agenda than protecting the American people. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about the border, you're talking about the president, whatever. They are not doing their job. There needs to be a full house cleaning.
Congressman, of course, the politics have changed overnight. This time last week, we were talking about whether the Democrats wanted Biden to be their nominee or not. Then it changed within seconds. Moving forward, how does that change the rhetoric? Is it something that we're going to see a softening of language, more focus on policy versus personality? Talk about how that changes.
I've been talking about it all along, is that let's make sure this is about policy, not personalities, because if it's about policy, we win. The border's a disaster. Under President Trump, we were in a much better position. We didn't have inflation with President Trump 5 years ago. We've got it now. And severely eroding people's paychecks and Social Security checks, and our weakness abroad is going to lead to war. I would say to you, it has led to war in some countries. I'm very concerned that we're going to get enmeshed in it. So hopefully the American people are paying attention.
How do you get those non-traditional voters, independents, to come to the Republican side?
Yeah, you talked about solutions, Greg. I mean, that's what it's about. They want to know, I think especially about young voters right now, 18, 20, and 22, they weren't with us. I think they're free agents now. And if we can deliver the message of, okay, you can't afford rent, much less being able to buy a home, we know how to fix that. Stop the ruinous spending out in Washington, D.C. Bring energy prices down. That'll alleviate inflation. And the weakness, I mean, I would be fearful if I'm a young person right now. Are my friends, or even perhaps myself, going to end up in war in a foreign land?
Congressman, obviously here at the convention, the party platform is discussed. Some conservative thinkers and talkers, they are pushing back on softening things too much on abortion and the like. How does that impact things, trying to either keep those who are more conservative on the Republican side while also attracting those independents?
I think that, it's clearly President Trump's party at this point, but I think some of the discussion is overwrought in regards to we're leaving conservative principles behind. I don't think that's the case, but it is going to be a different Republican Party as we go forward. I think that's reflected in the decision by Donald Trump to name J.D. Vance as the vice president, and ready to pass the torch on to the next generation. I'm just really bullish about America at this point, because for me, there's two things that Donald Trump changed about me as a conservative. One is trade. We can't just have free trade, we have to have fair trade. And two is we cannot solve all the world's conflicts.
Congressman Tiffany from Wisconsin here in his home state at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. Greatly appreciate you taking the time here with the Center Square.
Yeah, Greg, it was great to join you today.